Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another quick trick record of the day type of thing. My name is Ellsworth, also known as the Marquis de Carabas. Got a great one for you today. I've wanted this record for quite a long time and finally pulled the trigger and got it off of Discogs after a long argument with the guy that was selling it. He originally listed it and then told me he didn't have it and offered me a different record and then said he did have it, but he wanted more money for it. We worked it all out and managed to grab it for about a tenner, so no complaints here. This is Aphrodite versus Das EFX and Redman, and the track is called Rap Scholar. Not on a label, this is a bootleg release. It's got a bit of a history to it that I learned recently, and we'll get into that in a little bit, but right now I want to just let it play. It's got a lot of lyrics to it because obviously it's Redman and Das EFX over Aphrodite, so I'm not going to talk too much. I kind of want to let it play out and do its thing, but this is an important record to me. I'll get into the history of it and my own personal stuff after it plays out for a bit, but right now, hope you enjoy it. Let's get into it.
They're rolling.
I will talk during the intro a little bit. This actual beat is Aphrodite Drop Top Caddy. Aphrodite and Mickey Finn, actually. And it's a dope beginning. There's a couple of Aphrodite tunes that have this really cool kind of broken hip-hop kind of structure to them. This one and King of the Beast has it as well. Most of his intros are usually pretty cool. But here we go.
Rap scholar, here to make a dollar, try and follow, guaranteed to make it holler. Hey, yo, my dog hold heat, control the whole street. And when it's time to bust, they don't get cold feet. You know it's me, knockers, I say the boat rocker. Big Mac, not the whopper, piece the big popper. Showstopper, like salt and pepper, round wrecker. Diggity front on this, I won't let ya. I better get ya. Diggity straight out the blue. Diggity down some facts, Redman coming through. Diggity bubbling like some bubbly, lovely, but trouble be finding me, kitty cover me. I represent my crown, so yo, what up now? Non-believers hating, what the fuck now? I'm fuck down. Niggas get struck down for that shit. The max spit, accurate, make your back split. Sewer rats get a lot of cheese like ricotta. Three-man team, the rap scholar. New York, everybody, Cali, everybody. The rap scholar, here to make a dollar. Try and follow, guaranteed to make it holler. Take it out. Everybody, overseas, everybody. The rap scholar, here to make a dollar. Try and follow, guaranteed to make it holler. Take it out.
The rap scholar, hot around the collar. Pack a blocker, since I was a toddler. Drama, the 9-7 nigga Madonna. Reptile texture be the blood of a iguana. Sick, think about 9-inch thick. I make a 420 benzo look like a 6. First of the month, I got the bundles for the week. My hands big as a catcher's mitt when I print. Suck the MCs who did not learn. If you don't this time from coast to coast, the Doc Ranger, girl beat down Punana. So hot, my chewing gum flavors enchilada. You can tell I don't give a fuck, deliver the cold bitter phrase that shiver the arrester. Fuck you and the ship you came on. While you sit around bitch and I get my bangs on.
West Coast.
You gotta love Redman. I wish he was on like every drum and bass track.
Try and follow, guaranteed to make it holler. Check it out. Everybody, down south. Everybody, the rap scholar, here to make a dollar. Try and follow, guaranteed to make it holler. Check it out. Bango, bust how the slang go. Change up the angle. Now who wanna tango? Click clack, get back. Done, let me rip that. Spit that, flip that. Shit to push your wig back. You show boating. Get your whole frame broken. Found floating. Somewhere a whole broken. No joking. Jump out the Benz bubble. Pull out the pound and bust around in your huddle.
Spent a lot of ghetto days on the ghetto ways. Know the ins and outs of ghetto trades. I'm searching for a better way. You never stress the dough. Keep it come and go. Trust me, if it's running low, I might throw a gun in yo. Face, no more voice mine. Throw your hands in the air, cause the rhyme on the 9 up. Get your spine, blow your spot up. So I gotta get this ricotta. Three-man team, the rap scholar.
New York, everybody, Cali, everybody. Yeah, the rap scholar, here to make a dollar. Try and follow, guaranteed to make it holler. Check it out. Everybody, overseas, everybody.
So you could probably hear the actual acapella they use to layer over this track just kind of fade out right there. It's not done with any kind of ceremony. It's just, this is a real bootleg. But I love it for that, man. I love the kind of DIY feel to this record. And this is really important to me on a personal level. Oh, here they come back. Hang on. I knew I should shut up more.
Guaranteed to make it holler, man. Rap scholar, here to make a dollar, try and follow. Guaranteed to make it holler, man. Rap scholar, here to make a dollar, try and follow. Guaranteed to make it holler, 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 make it holler.
Indeed. So there it is. Like I was starting to say, one of the biggest reasons that I hold this particular record in such high regard is, like I said earlier, this is one of the first drum and bass tracks I ever personally heard. My friend Destro had it, Chris Nielsen, my man, and he played it a bunch back at his house over in the Sandy Hook side of Newtown back in the day. And I was just discovering underground music on a whole, especially rave music, drum and bass, trance, house, breaks, that kind of stuff. And drum and bass kind of caught my ear, especially this style, because it sounded like an evolution of hip hop. You know what I mean? It had a funk to it that was also being distorted and mutated and made into a more of an electronic offering. And this tune really defines that. This is just, I mean, obviously if you move on from this and you hear other things that were actually crafted by artists, like when you hear AK-1200 work with Tribe Called Quest, or you know, the Shook Ones remix that Zinc did. It was Zinc, right? We can argue about that a different time. But this is the first one I heard from that entire offering. So even though it's not quite officially done, it just caught me. It was like, it was a revelation for me that you could actually have this newer form of hip hop. And it was so DJ friendly, and it's just party music. I mean, that's not a deep lyrical song about troubles in the world or any kind of abstract poetry or storytelling. It's a party song, and that kicks ass. You know, it's hard to explain how much it meant to me to understand there was this whole world I was missing out there, and to watch it unfold in front of me started with really this record. And Aphrodite on a whole, the funk that he put into his stuff, I've said it before, I'll say it again. You know, he's one of the cornerstones to my personal style. I still play his stuff. I still play Drop Top Caddy. I'm going to start playing this a whole bunch. Yeah, man, it's a real important record to me, and I'm glad I finally have it. I looked for it for a long time on digital, not knowing the full background of it, not realizing that it wouldn't be on digital because never had a proper release, so no one's going to really archive that. Anyways, little information about this joint here. No label to tell you, no release date to tell you, just a little bit of cursory information that you can kind of use to guess. So, like I said, this is a combination of Aphrodite and Mickey Finn's Drop Top Caddy, which came out in 1997, and Rap Scholar by Das EFX featuring Redman, which came out in 1998. And if I was to guess, I would guess that this bootleg came out probably around that time, 98, 99. That's when I first heard it. So I'm guessing my man Destro probably bought it in a store around 99, 98. So that's the best we can do for it, really. No label, no one to credit for this. There's probably more information out there, but I haven't dug that deep into it. My man Criminal Sound hit me up on Facebook about this, actually, and he knew more of the story behind these bootlegs, because there's a series of them that have these weird circle patterns on them. This is a green one, greenish blue. There's also a red one that I have on the shelf back there that is How High with Meth and Redman, obviously, and then it's also Base of the Tramp. Again, I don't know a lot of information about this stuff. It's kind of hard to trust any source you find because these are all bootlegs. But there's a couple of them out there. I think somebody said there's a Shook Ones one as well, or some Mobb Deep one. So they're just kind of out there with nobody to credit for them. I mean, granted, if I robbed Aphrodite, I wouldn't want to take credit for it because the dude's a legend. Thankfully, he's done very well, and I'm doubting he's still upset about this, but you never know. But yeah, so the story is this. Apparently Aphrodite's record bag got robbed in the late 90s after a gig in New York, and these bootlegs began to surface a little while after that. So that's kind of all the information I have about it, but that's kind of, in a way, and I know we shouldn't support anybody robbing anybody, and we shouldn't support any kind of clandestine operation when it comes down to the really delicate business of drum and bass that really we all thrive in, or try to thrive in. But I'm happy it happened in a personal way because this came out of it. This is a great tune. And like I said before, during when it was playing, Redman's voice on drum and bass is just killer, man. It's just fantastic. A little pitch down, again, probably a symptom of the DIY nature of the bootleg, but it still kicks ass. I'm glad I have this. The B-side is dope too. We're not going to get into it right now, but it's Aphrodite again with, I think it's SWV and Missy Elliott. So we'll cover that a different day, but this is a great addition to my collection. I'm very happy to have it. I'm very glad I didn't pay the $30 this dude wanted for it. Out of your fucking mind, man. 30 bucks. 10 was much better. So cheers to Criminal Sound for the extra info on that. Cheers to Destro for showing me this 20 plus years ago, and cheers to me for finally getting it. That'll do it for today, my friends. I'll be back soon. I got a turntable that I'm kind of test driving for the man Val D. It's a little beat up, but it works, and that's all I needed to do. So I'll talk to you soon with another one. Peace.